Hi class, I'm going to show you in this video how to set up your registration for your linoleum cut, which is here, finished. So these jigs, this is called a jig, it's for registration. They're too big obviously, we have to cut them down. We used them in the past for bigger ones. So I'm going to cut it, a little room on each side, like that. Okay, and this is going to go in here like this. So make a little mark and make a little mark here. Okay, that's where I know where to cut. And let's see, I think I need to cut it a little bit more in there. You can tell it's not fitting. So trim off a little bit more. That looks good. So we take some tape. Tape it together. Now you're going to want to keep this for the whole project. So write your name on it and hold on to it. And that's how you make a jig. Now, this is the paper that you're going to be using to print. Mine got a little wrinkled by accident. Oops. This is a piece of paper that I cut to be the exact same size. And I'm going to use it as my guide. So I'm going to figure out how to put it on here perfectly so that when I put it through the press, it's lined up where I want it to be. Okay, so a good way to do that is place this on here, and let's use a ruler to make sure it's lined up well. Like about 3.5 centimeters on the sides. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to take a pencil and mark it. Now I like where it is. I'm going to trace it. Pencil. See how it's got the pencil outline now? Once you get it lined up, tape it. So when you flip it, it doesn't move. This is why I'm using scrap paper for this. I'm not using the good paper. Okay, so now we want to make a mark. I'm going to make a mark at the corners. That corner is missing, so we skip that one. The 3 will be fine. And we also make lines like that so that you can line them up. And because it might matter which way is top and which way is bottom, in case you're doing double printing, etc., I'm going to make a little plus here and a little plus there. So I'll show you. See there, it's got a plus, and here just a minus and a minus. So that way, if you do a double print and you need to line it up something, you can know which way is right. Okay, so take this off. Now, you take all your papers from the edition that you're going to do, all the papers that you're going to print on, and on the back side, you're just going to continue the lines. Like that. So there's a plus and a minus. And you're going to do that with every single one so that you know which direction and where to print it. Okay. So this one also has plus and a minus. Now, for the actual print, when you go to print, you're gonna roll this up first. Then you're gonna put it in here. Then you're gonna take your paper and you're gonna line the plus up and then put it down and then put it through the press. And that's how you know where to put it. So it always lines up perfectly. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to ink up your plate and print it. So we take our ink and we make a ribbon. So basically I want to go from lots of different directions because I don't want the lines to show. And if I need some more ink, I just add a little bit more there. Same thing, I go in lots of different directions so it's nice and even. And it's better to do not enough ink than too much, because once you have too much ink it clogs all the lines, and not enough you can always add more. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, now we're gonna go over to the press. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my plates into the cardboard jig. Okay. Now we will take the paper and line it up plus side to plus side. And line it into the corners. Put it down. Then we put newsprint on top. As you can see, there's newsprint on the bottom and also on top. And we put our board. Okay, now we're going to print. I keep my hand just to make sure it doesn't move, but then I'm going to move it away so I don't hurt my hand. All right, let's see how that pressure is. That looks like. So here it is from far away. Okay, now we're going to try it again, but we're going to add a little technique called Shinkole that you can use for your experimental prints. So we take this plate away, leave your board, and we're going to ink this up again. But we always ink it up separately from this. You can't ink it up in this or you get ink all over that, right? You want to have nice, neat borders, just like this. All right, so we just ink it up again. When you're doing your addition and you have to print it 3 times, you would just ink it up and just print it again. And then ink it up, print it again. Put it back in. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it down like that, but we're gonna put glue on the yellow paper. You wanna go all the way to the edges so that it's nice and covered in glue. If it moves, we can just move it away because we don't want the glue to get on the front side. I'm missing a little part in there. Okay. try to increase the pressure just a little bit, I think. What are you going to?
1.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's really tight. See. So that's what it looks like if you put like colors underneath. Then you'll see the colors showing through. You would sign your name right here. And then here, you would write the addition number. So 1 out of 3. And then you would write another one, 2 out of 3. And the last one, 3 out of 3. For the ones that are all the same. That's your addition in black and white. Now the ones that are more experimental, there's different ways you can assign it. But if it's one of a kind, an easy way, it's just 1 out of 1. That means there's nothing else like it. But I'm not completely finished with this one. Anyway, I think I want to add some acrylic paint. So I just want to communicate to you guys that you can do whatever you want to these experimental prints, okay? So you leave the addition alone. The experimental ones, you know, if you think it needs more color, then you can add it. So I'm going to add some more color to my onion to make it look more like an onion. And then there's like a plate here. So I'm gonna add details to the plate. Okay, and now I'm gonna add some red to my apple. Okay, now I'm gonna make my apple red. There would be my experimental one.